Hello, everybody. This is Kirsten here, and welcome back to the Balanced Rise podcast and YouTube channel. Today, we are talking about over-exercising and how to avoid starting to over-exercise again. Because I know that there are many of you out there who have stopped over-exercising and have found so much better balance with your health and fitness and training, but they're still wondering, how do I know that I'm not doing too much? Is there anything to look out for? How do I know that I'm doing the right amount of exercise for me? And this is a really, really important topic because we know that we don't want to go back to those old habits that we had in the past, where we were trained to the point where when we were always really exhausted, we lost our periods and our metabolism's downregulated. A lot of people actually even gain a lot of weight from over exercising, and they're really, really confused. Why did this happen? I'm eating really, really low calories. I'm training so hard. Why am I gaining weight? So our metabolism is almost like turned upside down. So it's really, really important that we understand when we have gone too far, and we can come back from there before things go bad again. Because when you catch it early, it's going to be fine. But when you let it go on for a long time, then it's going to be so much harder to come back from it. And I think most of you who have been through severe burnout know this, that had they caught this earlier, would have been so much easier to recover. It would not have taken as much time as it did, and things would have been better. And I just know personally too that I worked out really consistently for about like 10 years. I didn't take any breaks, maybe more than a week off ever. And that's why I started getting all these signs and symptoms that my health wasn't that great anymore. And had I taken a break before, I would not have needed a 5-month break in the beginning of 2017. So if you're able to catch yourself early, then you can react quickly and things are not going to go as bad. So today's episode is actually inspired by one of the comments that I got, and I always love getting comments and questions and DMs from you. So please send them to me. If there's anything you want me to address, I'm really, really happy to do it. But the comment that really inspired today's episode had something to do with the virus that's going on. And this woman said that I had already found a much better place with my exercise, and I had started training again regularly, but I had noticed that I am pushing myself too much. I'm overtraining again. I had been starting doing too much. But then, the virus happened and the gym is closed, and it was good for me because I couldn't go anymore. And I understand it because it worked out really well for her. So she couldn't make this decision herself that she has to stop exercising or not do that much anymore. So now there's this like external thing that decided it for her. Okay, you cannot go because the gym is closed. So too bad, you're not going to go. And that actually helped her kind of get back to that healthy track where she was resting more and recovering more. It was good for her. But on the other hand, I really want us to get to this point where we can make this decision for ourselves that, okay, yes, I have gone too far and I don't need anyone else to tell me that it's time to stop. I am able to make this decision for myself. And this is where I want everybody to kind of get to eventually. And actually, when I thought about this comment that I can only stop exercise when the gym is taken away from me, it reminded me of this kind of behavior with food when if you've ever had like binge eating disorder or binge eating habits occasionally, what you do is that you restrict yourself because you think that, okay, if this food is out of sight, then it's also out of mind. And so maybe it's chocolate, or maybe it's ice cream, or whatever the favorite thing is, and you don't ever see it, then you think, okay, I just cannot eat it. But one day you will have ice cream again, and one day you will have chocolate again, and then it's up to you to be able to manage this situation and eat just a normal amount. And it's the same situation with the gym actually right now. So you have to be able to go there and do the things that are right for you, and not have somebody to like close the gym doors so you cannot go anymore. So I hope it makes sense, kind of the parallel here with food restriction and then binging, and then also with the gym. So I want to tell you today about 10 things that I would like you to keep an eye on. So they are kind of like red flags that you maybe notice when you start exercising again, and you notice that, okay, I'm doing this, or this is happening for me. Then you can pull back and tell yourself, okay, it's time to take a little bit easier, because I know that if I push myself a little bit more, things are not going to go well. And the red flags, the first one of them is that when you start again doing the workouts based on how many calories they burn. Let's say that you have a choice. Of course you have a choice, but let's say that you're thinking, okay, should I lift weights, or should I run for an hour or do an intense boot camp class? Then if you are this very like calorie burning oriented mindset, then you choose the cardio, or you choose the high intensity full hour boot camp, because you just want to burn more calories, because you want to lose weight quickly, because you just want to feel like, I'm so accomplished, I burned more, now I get to maybe eat more. So if you find yourself getting to that same old mindset, then this is definitely your red flag. And I want you to know that the quality of your workout, or how efficient or effective your workout was, does not depend on the amount of calories that you burned. Yes, I know it makes you feel really, really accomplished and really good about yourself. If you look at your tracker and you see, yay, like 500 or 600, 700 calories burned, but this does not always indicate a good workout. You can get a really good workout when you, for example, lift heavy weights and do some strength training. And of course, you don't burn as many calories as you're doing the workout, but the effects after that are way bigger, because you're building muscle, you're boosting your metabolism. So these are way bigger benefits than just the number that you burn, the calorie number that you burn during the workout. So this is the first red flag. Notice yourself. If you choose your workout, what should I do today? Oh, let's go for a run because that burns more calories. Then this is definitely a sign you have to look out for, because it's going to spin you back to those old habits that you worked so hard to get rid of. The second thing, the second red flag is that when you stop eating, or really heavily restrict eating on days when you don't work out. And of course, maybe it happens naturally that you are just not as hungry on days when you don't work out, and that's fine. But then if you start eating less when you maybe go below your BMR, or maybe your thought process is like, okay, I didn't run today to burn my 500 calories, therefore have to cut my calories by eating 500 calories less, then this is the dangerous zone, because your body needs calories. It's actually a very, very small percentage of our daily energy expenditure that we burn through exercise. How we actually burn a lot of calories, or the majority of our calories, is our metabolism, the basal metabolic rate, the daily light activities, moving around, doing stuff. It's not that exercise. So if you now are thinking that I didn't run today, I didn't burn 600 calories, so I have to cut out my dinner, then this is definitely a very wrong thought process, and it's not healthy for you physically or mentally. So please stop doing it. Still eat normally, and don't do this calorie math that I cannot eat just because I didn't work out today. The third point I want you to look out for is that when you find that your rest days actually start becoming very similar to your workout days. Let's say that your rest day is like twice a week, and then you find yourself that on these days you're still doing a quick hit, just 15 minutes, that's fine, or like a run, 45 minutes, that's fine, that's fine, that's just my rest day. And when you listen to one of my recent podcasts where I talked about one of my clients for whom her rest day was 10 kilometers on a treadmill, then you know that this is not going to end well, because rest days are really for resting. And by the way, I don't mean that you have to sit and don't move at all. I don't think this is like your ideal rest day either. I really like to have people moving also on their rest days, but do something lighter. It doesn't have to be a workout. Go for a walk, go for a light hike, but don't, again, I think, okay, it's gonna have to be like 15 miles, as hilly as possible, as hard as possible. So this is my rest day. So check in with yourself and see, what are you actually doing? Is the rest day actually making you feel better and helping your body to recover, because that's the point of it? Or is it stressing your body more out, which is not the point of it? Okay. So the fourth red flag today that I'm going to mention is that when you are not letting yourself to modify the workouts. Let's say that you go to the gym and you have a plan in mind. Okay, I'm gonna do 6 exercises, 4 rounds, 10 to 12 reps each. And then you get started with your workout and it doesn't feel good. And then you're like, okay, let me try, maybe it gets better, because sometimes it does. And then you find that, okay, it's not gonna get better. So in this situation, are you able to modify your workout? Are you able to do 3 exercises instead of 6? Are you able to do 2 rounds instead of 4? Are you able to maybe pack your bag and say, okay, I'm gonna try again tomorrow? Are you able to do it? Because if you are not, then this is definitely a way for you to push yourself beyond to where you should push yourself, and sort of like punish yourself and think, okay, I have to do this or otherwise I cannot eat. Or some people think that, okay, no pain, no gain, or I just can't give up. It's not about giving up, it's about listening to yourself. And if you're not able to listen to yourself, then there's a really short way to back to those overtraining habits, and your body starts telling you very soon that it's not happy and that you really have to take a break. So you have to be able to listen to yourself. Even if it's mid-workout and you had a plan in mind, it is okay to do less than that. It is okay to rest and recover and come back tomorrow or the day after, or sleep more and eat more and make sure that you recover and then try again. Okay, so the next red flag is that when you notice that you're doing 2 workouts a day again. Why are you doing so many? Nobody, unless you're like an elite athlete, has to do 2 workouts a day. And it's okay to do a workout and then maybe later you want to go for a walk. I have nothing against that if you're a healthy person. But if you're doing like lifting 2 hours and then you're going to do cardio later in the day, or if you already did a high intensity workout and then you're going to do more cardio later in the day, who is it for? Or I've even heard people doing CrossFit, like 2 CrossFit workouts a day. Why are you doing 2 CrossFit workouts a day? I don't think we realize what's happening inside our bodies when we do that. I don't think we realize like the amount of stress that our bodies are have to deal with, the amount of cortisol our adrenals are pumping out, and how it starts to affect our thyroid, how it starts to affect our metabolism down the line. It is not necessary to do 2 workouts a day. And also athletes, like professional athletes, they can do it, but this is their life. They don't have full-time jobs, they don't have families, they don't have all these other responsibilities. Working out twice a day is their job, and even elite athletes don't work out twice a day every single day. And you are not an elite athlete. I don't think you are. So take it easier. 1 workout a day is plenty, and 3-4 workouts a week it's going to be fine for most people. You don't have to push yourself to do more than that. And if you do, then definitely there will be signs and symptoms soon that start coming back, that start telling you that, okay, you have pushed yourself too far. The 7th red flag is that you feel like you have to move yourself every minute. You literally can't sit down or get your work done, or you feel guilty for lying down and reading a book or watching a movie or something like that. You just feel so guilty. And that's gonna drive you back to this like old thing. Okay, I'm gonna do another workout. I'm gonna do another one. Or at least, I did like 2 hours lifting. I have to go and walk. I have to. If you can't sit still, then your thought process is often like, okay, if I sit still, if I lie down, I am not burning calories. One of my clients actually told me that I feel like if I'm sitting down, I'm imagining my butt is getting bigger. And this is like a really, it really is in your head. You're associating like sitting down with being lazy, and that being bad, and that not burning enough calories, and that making you fat. This is how it spirals, right? But there's nothing wrong with resting. Remember that those who are really strong and really fit and really healthy, those people rest, okay? They work out hard, yes, they do, but then they also rest. And that's what keeps the body balanced. Moving around every single minute of the day is not it, okay? Okay, the next red flag that tells you that you might be overtraining yourself again is that when your hunger is going crazy. When you find yourself being really hungry all the time, your cravings for sweet and salty and fatty things, or just general hunger too, you feel like, okay, I just ate and I need to eat again. If you start feeling these things, then you're probably dealing with not balanced energy there, because you are exercising more and more and more, and you're not taking in enough food. And this is going to create this situation in your body where you just are hungry all the time. And then you're surprised where this hunger came from. But this is exactly where it came from doing too much physical exercise and not balancing it out with enough food. And you can keep going like this for a little while. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks you can do it. Like, okay, I'm gonna just really, limit my food and fight this urge to eat chocolate. But then you're fighting this need to eat chocolate every single minute, and this becomes the focus of your life. And then after 2 weeks you will just break down, and then you will eat a ton of it. And instead of just eating normally all the time, figuring out what is the right amount of food for you and following that, you are restricting, and then you want to just overeat. So if you find yourself getting those big urges to like eat all the time, snack all the time, you never feel truly satisfied, maybe you even binge occasionally, then these are the signs that you maybe have been overtraining again. The 9th red flag is your sleep. If your sleep is getting worse, then you start waking up too early. For example, you start waking up like 4 a.m. and you cannot go back to sleep. I have had that so many times in my life, and this is probably this is where I am personally the most sensitive. I know that this is like my number one thing actually. This is how I know that, okay, it's time to take it a little bit easier and rest a little bit more, because it's not worth it. Like if your sleep is not on point, then your body just cannot be healthy. So if you notice yourself having problems like, okay, you wake up like at 4 a.m. all the time, or you're just not getting enough sleep, or things get even worse, you let that go on for a little while, then you get to the point where you just want to sleep all the time. You just can't get ever enough sleep. So this is almost going back to this adrenal fatigue, where no matter how much you sleep, you're not getting enough ever. This is definitely a bad sign that you want to avoid. And my advice for you would be, when you start getting those signs, you just pull back and you just take it easier at the gym, or you don't go to the gym for a little while, or just go for longer walks and bring back things like mindfulness or meditation, and take more time for yourself and relaxing, and let go of this idea that I have to move around every minute. Things are gonna, I'm gonna gain fat, I'm gonna get super big, all these things that you're always worrying about. Understand that as long as your sleep is not in check, you just can't feel well. So this was the 9th red flag. If your sleep is getting worse, then the reason might be that you're overtraining. And the 10th red flag is that if all your actions, all your exercise choices are based on quick weight loss. Of course you want to lose weight. Almost everybody all the time wants to lose weight, like no matter who you talk to. But the reality is that if you are trying to do it really, really fast, if you're like, I gotta get there by next month or whatever the date is, and you're rushing it, you're gonna make a ton of bad decisions. If you are somebody who is in the balance phase, you have already overcome all your food issues, and you are really safely on the other side of things. You don't have any food obsessions anymore, and you just want to maybe change your body a little bit to feel better, feel lighter, that's fine. But if you find that you have this urge to lose weight super quickly, get lean super quickly, you get on this strict plan that has you go to the gym twice a day, and then on your rest days do crazy hikes and long runs still. This is where you know that things are wrong. So don't rush it. Even if you have a body recomposition goal, you cannot rush it. Take the slowest approach possible, because that's going to be the sustainable one. So these are the red flags, and I really hope that you take them seriously, because if you don't, then you're only making things worse. So for example, I know that if I don't give myself a lighter week to get my sleep back in check, then it's not going to get better. How can it get better if I'm not fixing it? If I keep putting more stress on my already stressed out body, how can it get better? It just does not have the opportunity to heal. So what I have to do, and what I also have been doing this week, is that, on Friday that I lifted weights, I started my workouts, I was like, no, it really does not feel good. And I tried, and my body was like, no, don't do it. And I came home and I was totally fine with it. And I almost even thought that I shouldn't have even tried, because I felt really tired. And then the sleep has not been super great. So my workouts this week, I've done only one workout this week, because this is how I've been feeling. And, you got to realize that stress comes from different places, right? It's not only your workouts, but maybe you had harder work, harder week at work, or you had some other stressors going on, or maybe there's something wrong with your food. Like these things add up, and so you have to figure out how to gotta manage this situation and handle it so that you don't put more stress on the body by doing more and more workouts. And for me, I know that because this week I took it easier. I kept my workout like one workout or one and a half if you count the Friday too. I took it easier. I kept it lighter, and I know that I'm gonna give myself a couple of more days off, and then I will be fine again. But if I didn't do it, I would probably get to the point where I have to take like 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks off, and is this any better? It definitely isn't. So be honest with yourself. This is like what I want you to understand or take away from this. You got to be really honest with yourself when you're making these decisions, and start trusting yourself that your body's telling you the truth. You don't have to wait somebody to close the gym and tell you that you cannot go. You are able to make these decisions for yourself. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon.